Hundreds of years ago, east of Cormyr laid a prospering kingdom, modest in size but made up for by the quality of life the citizens had. Farmers on the outskirts grew bountiful harvests and were paid well. Art, entertainment, and knowledge were just a few thriving aspects of this kingdom. It was named after the noble founding family Valeria. Centuries passed with peace thanks to the god of protection, Helm. Helm watched over its people and the royal family, giving them tools of great power to protect the kingdom. Known as the Crimson Weapons, they burned brightly in the hands of those deemed worthy. However, a devil corrupted the king, then eventually the queen as well, leading to the death of both of them, as well as the downfall of the great kingdom of Valeria. Descendants of the royal family spread across Faerun, and took with them the 8 Crimson Weapons. One such descendant started a guild, aptly named the Crimson Blades. Centuries later, Alvar Valeria searches out these weapons, which were lost to time, and hopes to one day start Valeria anew. We follow the journey of new guild members: Franklin, the Goliath Bard; Uroquin, the Dragonborn Fighter; Phoenix, the Arakokra Ranger; Lord Hatteron, the Elven Wizard; and Bongo, the Goliath Paladin.
Welcome back, everybody. This is the DM, known as Zero Tuna. I'm joined here by the players of the campaign, The Crimson. Last week, the party had made their way further into the High Hall. This is a large cathedral structure in the heart of El Terrell. After dispatching and kind of coming into contact with some unsavory types in the cathedral, it seems to be in mid-siege as the party had entered in and actually came face to face with a white Abishai and was able to dispatch it, as well as some servants, some cultists seemingly pledged to help raise this building. After dispatching of the party there, Hatteron had continued on the hallway and had came around a corner and had found himself within the main crypts. This large crypt area, I'll read this again, we kind of finished the session with it last week, but just kind of get you caught back up. This large crypt area is presently home to over 100 frightened people, you see Hatteron. They cower behind sarcophagi and in alcoves, their eyes red and their cheeks stained with tears. Standing before a large font is a haggard woman, her gray hair matted with sweat. With one arm, she clutches a leather-bound tome to her breast. In the other hand, she wields a ceremonial mace that will probably shatter if it struck anything harder than a pillow. Right now, they're taken aback by your presence and hearing the battle commotions down the hallway, and they're kind of unsure of what to expect. What would you like to do?
At any point during the fight, did my hood come down?
I don't think you put yourself in a position where there wasn't a circumstance where it would flop down.
Okay, so the eye is still somewhat hidden, unless you're like...
Yeah.
Okay. Stepping into the room, I'm gonna kind of like stop for a minute, like it's gonna catch me off guard as well. I'm just gonna look around. Kind of like, just like squint, a little confused. I'm gonna turn to look over my shoulder just to see if the rest of the party is coming before turning back to look at everyone in here. And I'm just gonna kind of like hold up my hands in a somewhat unthreatening manner. I don't really know who you are, but I'm assuming all of you are from Elturel.
The more worn woman kind of looks to you and kind of takes a step forward, still unsure of the circumstance. And my headphones doing that.
I was just gonna say, did you change your audio?
You hear like the feedback or something?
No, you're much clearer.
I'm getting feedback from Pat, and now I can't hear you, Tim.
It's
How
just
about
straight up
now?
static.
Nope. To me, it sounds like you're 4 rooms away. Like, I can hear you talking, but it sounds like you're...
How about now?
That's better.
Okay, I got some weird feedback on my end because my headset was charging, so I unplugged it. Hopefully, at least on my end, I think it should be better.
Yeah.
Do I sound better to you, JD?
Yeah, and I'm not hearing Pat's static anymore.
I think it was from me.
Yeah, it's definitely.
Oh, I'm still getting a little bit when he talks.
It's just because he's in a different plane of existence right now, Quinn.
Yeah, it's pretty wild.
Yeah.
So the woman kind of steps towards you, hat her on, kind of takes a deep breath. Says, I don't know if you've paid attention, but I know it doesn't look like it, but you're in Elturel. And as far as I know, we're the last few survivors. Waiting for the Grand Duke to return.
Hearing her say she's the last of the survivors that she's aware of, I'm gonna slowly lower my hands. I'm assuming when you say you are the last of the survivors, you're the last you're aware of. Made it here, correct?
Yes, it seems much of the city folk had died in the transition.
We've met a few of your kinfolk on the way here. I actually found this place because of a small family we had found. But me and my party were traveling before we arrived here with a young woman named Rhea who was looking for the rest of you.
Interesting. It's been a hard few weeks here. It's hard to keep track of time. A lot of the people had died to the demons and devils that roam the streets. And I guess some got wind that there were some survivors here in the cathedral in the High Hall, and we've kind of fallen back to here as a last-ditch resort, final stand, if you may.
You don't mind me asking, before I found all of you, me and my companions ran into a small group of what appeared to be cultists. Do you happen to know what they were doing?
Cultists. I don't... There were some folk who... Some of the intel and some things we've heard from a few of the survivors were... that there were folks within the city who helped plan this incursion. This transportation of Elturel. I think I heard a couple of them speak down the hallway that they were devoted to Zariel, which is not a good sign. Have you seen the Grand Duke within the cathedral?
No, we haven't yet, but we've only recently just arrived here ourselves.
Ah. Well, he should have returned hours ago. He was hoping that holy relic that was in the cemetery chapel here in the city would help our circumstances and possibly be our salvation. And this was earlier today. We don't have the people to spare to go check on him. Not many of these folks left are fighters. Most of them are women and children.
Are these the only people who are left here, or do you have more hidden elsewhere in this building?
This is it. We've fallen back here.
Hearing that, I'm just gonna give her a small nod. I'll be right back, and I'm gonna just turn on the balls of my feet, and I'm gonna just head back down to where the rest of the group's at.
Okay. So you head on back. Make a perception check as you're walking back. You're trying to stay aware, keep your senses heightened. Look at that. First roll of the night. A solid 19.
Hey, yo.
Total of 24. You notice it's deathly quiet here. It is. The only thing you hear are some whispers, and that's coming from the party back that are in that vault chamber that you came from. Other than that, it is deathly quiet. There's a few kind of mumbles and very, very soft conversations of the folks that were in the main crypt. But other than that, you don't hear anything that would make you feel like there was any sudden danger to you.
Alright. I'm gonna, as I'm coming back in, kind of like getting the sense that everything is eased up for the time being, I'm gonna be a little more lax as I walk in. I'm gonna walk around the corner and just kind of like clear my throat to get everybody's attention.
Oh, you're back.
Oh, hey, Heteron. Bongo says.
I kind of hope all of you are finished with whatever you're doing here. We sort of have a situation on our hands.
Well, I mean, we know we're in a situation. What more could there be?
I heard they're irrelevant now.
How about about 100 people from El Terrell sitting just down the hallway?
Oh,
Good point.
we didn't bring enough food for that.
And to top it off, the Grand Duke is missing, and from what I've been told, he should have been back a few hours ago.
Did they have anyone out there searching for him?
They have no fighters left to spare, Dimmick. To be frank, if we didn't get down here when we did, I don't think they would be alive to tell this story.
Well, I don't know about you, but I'm pretty wiped out after everything that's happened so far.
I think what we need to do, you guys go join the party just down the hall. They're in a small vault on the left. I'll go get Franklin and the family upstairs and bring them down here. This seems to be a bit safer location than up there in the open.
We might want to sweep the rest of the, oh well, you know what, it's a big ass place. I don't know if we're going to be able to do it today.
I didn't hear anything on my way back. Everything seems more at peace, for a lack of better terms.
Yeah, right here, but this is a big ass castle.
Well, with you three guarding that the vaults, I don't fear too much from what I've been told. That's all of them that are left. There's nobody spread out throughout the castle, so it'll be a bit easier to defend.
We should probably take a rest before we do anything, though. Get everybody up to speed, see what we can do for these people, and then if they don't have anybody left, I guess we're going on a trip.
You guys go with them. Go to them. I'll go get Franklin quick, and then we can relax a little and come up with a game plan from there.
Fine. I'll have Nell follow you up.
Just shoot Europe on a quick nod, and before turning and just starting to haul up towards where Franklin was at.
Uh-oh, DM died.
I did die, actually. So, Hedron, you're heading upstairs to meet up with Franklin and the family. Bongo's heading to the main crypt. Are you guys heading with them, Quinn and Dimmick?
I'm gonna I'm gonna head back out where we came from, but to the left, the opposite way that
Okay.
we can move ourselves. I'll just head over this way.
I'll
Yeah.
stay with everyone and see if anybody needs any sort of like medical attention.
Okay. Make a medicine check. Since you're in there. Quinn, you head down this snake-like tunnel. This hallway kind of continues on curves. You can kind of keep going. You see that it just expands into more vaults and mausoleums, resting places of some of the highest folk that resided at one point in time in El Terrell. Dimmick, you spend a few moments while Hadron's going to collect Franklin and the family, with Bongo kind of tending to some folk. You're using your magic to create water to give some drinks to the folks who need it, bandaging up some minor wounds and cuts. It seems like, for the most part, the townsfolk here are more or less unscathed, but they are. You can tell they have been weeks and weeks without proper food or water, and they've been suffering for the better part of a month after you're kind of having a passing conversation with one or two. And Dimmick feels the way he probably would feel about that. Quinn, you come into whoops, sorry, I just smashed my microphone. You come into this larger temple. It's very ceremonial in appearances. You do see there's a rather large, very ornamental sarcophagus that's kind of situated on the western part of this room, that's sitting solidarily in place, almost as if it's on a pedestal on display. But other than that, nothing else catches your eye in this room.
I'll step up to it,
Okay.
place my hand on it, and see if I can feel anything. Anything odd.
You kind of run your hand along it and you kind of investigate it. Make an investigation check. The craftsmanship of this is very ornate. It's made of different types of minerals and these different sedimentary type stone. You can see there's a similar to limestone type white stone that this sarcophagus is carved out of, but you see there's a rather peculiar lock on the side where the sarcophagus latches.
I will try to pick the lock.
Okay, make a check with your thieves' tools. Now this is going to be you're not proficient, so this is going to be a straight dexterity check.
Okay.
You kind of take out your thieves' tools and you try to work on this lock, and you immediately notice that this is probably out of my wheelhouse, but nonetheless, considering the situation you're in, you're focused and determined to try to get this open, feeling there's some sort of significance to this. After fiddling with it for about a minute, you hear one of your picks snap and get jammed within the lock.
Well, this would happen. Let's see. Oh, there's not much I can do for it. I'm gonna try to bash it. Just take my maul to it, put it at a good angle, and try to smash it.
Yeah, I'll give you a shot at that. Make a regular attack roll. You kind of rear your arm back and slam into this, and you actually see that you could break off the metal hoop part of the lock as it just falls to the ground. I would consider that a successful lockpick experience.
I've done it. I've learned. I will slowly begin to open the thing.
The sarcophagus?
Yeah.
Okay. You creak open the door to this, and there's a very, very finely wrapped up body that's just there, arms crossed, kind of standing at posture. And as you kind of, take a moment to observe, you can see that there's a couple satchels kind of like at the feet. And just as you kind of take your eyes off the body itself, it swings out at you and attacks you. Need you to roll for initiative.
Solo battle. Let's go.
12? Alright, well.
Not another mimic.
Not another. Yeah. Oh.
Where did you roll? Oh, there you are. Okay. I don't think really need to go through all this. Alright, you're up. So you now see there's this wrapped up in cloth and these beady red eyes glowing. This mummy kind of lashes out at you. You're able to kind of step back and get your posture to retaliate before he got a swing on you. It's your move.
Jurgen's going to step back one more time to dig in with his action. Sorry. With his action, he's going to... I have to check something before I start saying things that I'm not sure I can do. Yeah, no, I can do this. Okay. I'm going to cast Blade Ward as a cantrip, so I gain resistance to bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing.
Okay.
And then with my War Magic ability, I can make one attack roll when I use my action to cast a cantrip.
Yep.
So I can't remember if this worked before casting this on myself. Oh, yep, that worked. Okay, cool. And then I will use We'll attack once.
There you go. Nice. 29 to hit.
Ooh.
That's pretty good.
Decent amount of damage. 12 points of damage. You kind of slam into it with your maul, and you see this dust kind of explodes from the impact.
That'll be it for me.
All right. So the mummy kind of just, for lack of a better term, looks unfazed. I mean, you can really only see the glaring eyes as it just kind of reaches out with you with its this very unsettling glare towards you. I need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
Oh no. These don't end well. Oh, that one ended pretty well.
Oh, nice. You see the eyes kind of flare up for a moment and then fade, and you kind of like get this uneasy feeling in your stomach, but then you shake it off unaffected. And then realizing you didn't have a reaction to it, he's going to lash out at you with this with a melee attack. Okay, let's see. 12 to hit. That misses. That'll end his turn. Back to you.
Oh no, you don't do this. This is... Last time this happened, I almost died. I'm just going to... Oh. What's going on? Oh, I fixed it. Okay. Sorry. My maul was only in one hand for some reason, but now it's in two, so everything's fine.
Everything's better now.
I'm going to try to sweep his legs out from under him.
Oh, let me...
Oh, sorry.
You're good. Let me grab... I'm going to bring Demic over here so that way the stream can see what's happening. Yep. There you go. Sorry. Hit. That'll hit. Roll damage for that.
All right.
13 additional points. You slam into it, and it... Once again, you see this dust kind of... It's crazy. It's like now starting to fill the space, the air here. Okay.
Right, well, I guess I'll do it again. I've really got nothing fancy. This is just the fighter lifestyle.
20 will hit. 14 points of damage. Nice. You hit it again, you hear like what sound to be like chicken bones cracking. You hear a few of the ones crack underneath the weight of your maul.
Chicken. I'm done. That's it for me.
All right. Mummy is still targeting you. He's going to reach out with his fist and swing at you again. 22 to hit.
That's a hit.
It's gonna take 20 points of damage from the mummy as this hit slams into you, and you feel this dark magic kind of fill your body with this necrotic type, and you just once again feel sick to your stomach. He's going to end his turn by rotating around you this way and finish his turn.
When, after taking a beating, he's going to stumble a little bit, catch his grip on the ground, swing around 180, and try to...
Actually, hold on. I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Sure.
15? Okay. Noted.
Okay. And I'm going to try to attack him. Swing around and wildly hit him.
Ooh, that'll hit.
27.
27? Hell yeah.
Right. There we go.
Nice. 14 points of damage. Just slams into his chest. He's like... Ah!
And this one I'm going to try to push him away from me as I'm... Well, not really, but I'm swinging straight at his chest. And...
Okay.
Oh, I saw that 20.
Ooh, that'll hit.
28. Oh, that's a good damage.
Nice. You slam into it one last push and collapse its sternum as it just kind of coughs out this mouthful of dust into your face. I need you to make one more Constitution saving throw.
No.
As the light in its eyes grow dim, and it falls to the ground and collapses. And you're feeling kind of you kind of feel at ease that the target has been dropped, but then you kind of have a scratch in your throat, and you just don't feel right. You've been afflicted with what's called mummy rot.
Oh no. That doesn't sound good.
So you are now considered... Let me turn this battle music off because we're good. Currently, you are cursed with mummy rot. You're unable to regain hit points, and your hit point maximum is decreased by 3d6. I'll roll that right now. So 12. So 73, that brings you down to 61. All right. What
Well,
would you like to do now?
if this guy can do that to me, I'll just take his stuff. I'll just turn around and start looting his stash.
His stash? Okay. Where the
He
hell did my
won't need
pen
it
go?
anymore.
There it is. I need to make a note of this. Chapter 5, huh?
Mm-hmm. Yes,
Chapter
sir.
5.
Book 2.
Just make a quick note here for you. Okay. You, after kind of feeling content with the mummy there, you kind of go to walk over to the sarcophagus and you kind of stumble a bit. Your equilibrium's off, and you have this really uneasy feeling. You check in the sarcophagus where this mummy stood, and you grab a couple bags. You find 2 items. One is a set of bracers. They are like filigreed metal bracers, and they're just made with extremely well craftsmanship. And you don't know how long they've been in here. The bags look like they've been in here for a long time, the satchels they were in, but these bracers seem like they were just made, like they're just polished.
All right. Pop them in my bag.
All right, where are you? There you are. Boom, there you go. That's in there. And you open up the other bag, and there's this rather large crystal-like gem. And you open the bag, and it's kind of darker in this room, but you still see that there's this magical light of this room. You can see this yellow gem, this crystal clear yellow gem. You kind of take a moment to look inside of it, and you can see there's like this, almost like a moat, like something bright dancing around inside of it.
I'm not going to fall for that one again. I will pop this in my bag as well, but more towards the top so I can have easy access to it.
Okay.
And then once I'm sure that I've got everything from here, I'm going to stumble back to the group.
Okay. You make your way back to you're going back to the main crypt.
Yeah, a little slow, but yeah, I'm making it.
Make your way back down, and as you're kind of coming through the hallway, you end up seeing Anel head down the staircase with uh, Hatteron, Franklin, and the family in tow. They kind of meet up with you halfway as you're heading back.
Seeing Iroquois, I'm just gonna like raise an eyebrow at him. Do I even want to know?
It's fine. Everything is fine, Adron. He was already dead, I promise.
No, I told myself I didn't want to know, so I don't want to know.
I'm just gonna go take a little nap.
Hearing Iroquois say that, I'm gonna lean over to Franklin. I don't think a nap is going to cure whatever that is.
He's been up there the whole time?
What?
I was confused as you were.
Yeah. I'm pretty certain I'm upstairs.
Yeah, we just came down.
Oh, you brought me down?
Yes.
Yeah. Hatteron went upstairs and got Franklin and the family and brought them down.
Okay.
Unless you're resisting arrest.
Well, no, I thought we were. Never mind.
Unless there's something that, if there's a reason why Franklin wouldn't want to bring the family down to where everyone else is, then you can go with that.
No, that's fine. Yeah, no, he doesn't look good at all. Doesn't the small one do like medicine stuff?
Well, I mean, I think so, but him and Iroquois not like you. Iroquois, you're like a dragon in the wheat fields. You try to mix, but 9 times out of 10 it ends up more badly than it does.
So you're saying Iroquois addicted to him too?
I'm going to plead to whatever god it is that will allow me to stay a neutral party.
Ah, well. It sounds like me and the blue guy will get along just fine.
I did think to ask you when we were up there before. Did anything occur while we were down on the main floor clearing everything up?
No, just your cat came up and he just chilled out for a little bit. That's about it.
It's a little bit tired. I told him to get a few, but you know, it is what it is. But
I mean, the dome I made was like a different color, so it was just like a big round thing. He couldn't see through it.
Speaking of your dome, are you by any chance able to use that again?
Yeah, absolutely.
And I hope you're prepared to hold. Wait a minute, that's not going to work.
What's that?
There's I stumbled across a small crypt down here housing the rest of the people from El Terrell, and there's about 100 of them.
Oh wow. Oh yeah, that's not gonna. Nope. Can't do that many. Holy cow.
And the worst part is there's apparently the one they've been following in charge is currently missing, and they have no one to spare to go find him.
Well, I mean, who's missing?
The Grand Duke, he is missing. I guess he left earlier.
Oh,
was supposed to be back.
We knew that though. So now he's missing from here too.
I guess, from what I've gathered, yes. I guess he had left here earlier today. Something about holy artifacts he was aware of that could have turned the tide for them. But from what I was told, he's been missing for hours.
Holy artifact could be really helpful for us.
If there even is an artifact here.
If there is one, yeah. Well, I mean, if they've got no one else to go out, I mean, we might as well go. We can see if there's any way we can keep these people, like, I mean, it looks like they've stayed safe for, well, they're alive
So
at least.
As we come down, where would we have met Uraquin at?
Probably in the hallway,
So kind of like
in the intersection.
right here.
Yeah.
So as me and Franklin are coming to that point, I'm gonna just kind of like give him a quick nod to the room where we had the fight down here last week. Let's just say they barely made it.
Is Franklin's Pog down here somewhere?
What happened? Who?
Is Franklin's Pog down here somewhere?
Whoa.
Oh, there he is.
You walked right by him.
There we go.
He was hiding in the shadows.
Can you move his block too, or no?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure how that worked.
Yeah, I can move his. Okay. Well, I mean, that's... I don't know if I've got anything that I can do to help them out. I mean, we could leave somebody here, but if he's been missing for hours, who knows? I mean, we don't know what the Grand Duke is able to do. We might need to go after him.
For the time being, we're all going to gather with the rest of the people of Elturel, and we're going to rest up a little before we take our next course of action.
Well, where's everybody else?
Judging by
Bongo's-
Oh,
Yeah,
sorry.
Bongo's currently in the main vault, or the main crypt, kind of tending to some folk.
Judging by the fact that Uraquin came from the other direction, hopefully the rest are with the people of Elturel.
And he looked a little worse for wear too. Let's
Yeah.
let's go check on everybody.
You know Uraquin, he has a knack for getting himself into trouble.
You're not wrong. I'll make my way to where everybody else is.
Yeah, I'm just gonna finish leading Franklin to where the crypt is.
Okay. You guys kind of all come and enter the room, and the older woman that's holding the ceremonial mace is kind of steps up a few times, just trying to show some sort of form of strength, but then just looks at you guys like, all right, hopefully it's been kind of quiet for a while. I presume we're more or less safe for the time being. If I could recommend, how about you guys take a little while here and rest up, and I know you just got here and you all look rather battle tested, if I'll be honest, more than I. I beseech you to head to the cemetery and search for Ravengard, as well as the group of guards that he took with him. Perhaps you may be able to find out what his fate is.
Why did he go to the cemetery?
The cemetery? There's been for a long time there's been talks that in the chapel of the cemetery there's a holy relic. Some call it the Helm of Torm's Sight, which allows the user to commune with Torm or be lended part of his grace, and it was his only solution. Really not anything else we could do besides wait to die. He figured he'd at least try to go find something, even if it was an old tale. Don't even know if it's actually magical.
Well, all right. We'll rest here shortly, and we'll take off. Can't let him wait too long.
Franklin's gonna make his way to the corner over where Urquin is, and he'll ritually cast the dome. So it'll take instead of 1 minute, it'll take 11 minutes to cast
Okay.
instead of expending a spell slot.
So Franklin takes some time and focuses on the ritual spell needed to cast the dome. Is everyone else okay with taking like a short rest here?
I'm down for a long rest, personally.
Or whatever you
Well-
guys like to do.
I mean, we shouldn't make him wait that long. He could be in serious danger.
Yeah, well, I'm pretty expended. You look pretty beat up.
I agree, but who are we to put another's life over ours? Or
Well-
ours over another's, I mean.
Man, sounds like someone's growing up.
Oh, I'll show you grown up.
Whoa.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely couldn't hurt to get at least a short rest.
If you feel like you need a long rest, I understand.
No, it's fine. It's fine. I should be able to scrounge something up. Get a good foot rub or something. I don't know. I'll make it work.
It can be up to Bongo and Hatteron then.
Bongo kind
Franklin.
of just looks at you guys like, I'm up with anything.
Well, this dome here lasts for 8 hours, so doesn't really matter what we choose. I guess I am on the devil's advocate. It's probably not a good idea to keep him waiting any longer. I mean, he's been gone for several hours.
Hatteron,
I really don't care either way.
you're feeling all right?
I'm chipper as all can be, Yoklin.
All right.
You don't look so good.
Who was Dimmick talking to there?
You're quitting.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
fine. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, well, I don't know about that.
I just
I'm gonna let me see.
take a little nap.
Are you guys taking the whole rest?
I'm
Now-
gonna ask a really dumb question.
Mhm.
So, I sort of looked into the short rest things with elves, and I'm super confused about a certain thing, because obviously our short rests, or our long rests, are half of what everyone else's are.
Mm-hmm.
But I ended up seeing a thing saying that technically warlock elves do not benefit from short rests because a short rest has to be over a certain time threshold, and since ours is cut in half, it's weird. So how would that work?
So you guys have to at least have at least 1 hour of downtime. Where you're just resting, kind of recollecting yourself. You can roll your hit dice. As far as for like an elf, let me see.
Because when I looked into it, they were saying that warlock elves don't get their pact magic stuff back on a short rest, which was super odd to me. So I don't know if that was just like homebrewed rules for the people asking, or if that's like an actual thing and I just wasn't aware of it when I made this guy.
Let me see. Like, basically, the short rest is thematically a period of time where you bandage up any wounds that you may have, kind of reassess your equipment, maybe, take a bite to eat. It's not a time frame where, you would be required to go into a trance to get the benefits of a short rest, because it's more or less just a point in time where you just kind of take a big breath and center yourself, basically. So I don't really think any of that's the trance doesn't really affect your a short rest, or for better or for worse.
Okay.
So if you guys want to roll hit dice, you can. Let me see.
Yes, I'm also going to use as Franklin. I'm going to use the if anybody's going to roll hit dice, I'll use my one of my class abilities, Song of what is it? Song of Rest.
Okay. I think
So
it's an extra.
that gives what is it? Extra increase when you is 1d8 and 9th level. Each of those creatures regains an extra 1d6 hit points at 9th level. The extra hit points increase when you reach. So everybody gets an extra d8 because I'm 9th level.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wait, no. I'm only 8th level bard. Okay, so you guys only get 1d6, an additional 1d6.
Yep.
But I'm gonna roll for both Franklin and Dimmick.
Okay. Quinn, you sit and focus and, agree with the party to kind of take a breather and kind of reassess the situation. You see Franklin kind of takes a moment to play a very calm, soothing song that a lot of the townsfolk seem to really appreciate. Some kind of hang their head, some kind of go into a prayer. It calms a lot of the folks down, and it kind of swells everyone in the party with energy. Except for you. You're trying to catch your breath and rest and relax and try to ready yourself for the future. But you start getting to a coughing fit. And you kind of cover your mouth and try to turn away, but you notice as you're coughing, dust is coming out of your lungs at this point. And while the party takes around an hour, a little bit over that, to kind of rest and recuperate, you feel none the rested. Seems this curse has really dug itself into you.
I know I talked a big game, but hey, you guys might have to go on ahead of me.
Why?
Might need some more time.
I knew there was something wrong with you. What happened?
Oh, I just stubbed my toe.
Did Dimmick notice him coughing up sand?
Yeah, I would say make a perception check. I mean, yeah, I'd say make a perception check. I would say, yeah, you kind of heard him kind of get coughing at that point where, like, old people cough, and it just gets to that point where it's like almost gagging coughing. But then you kind of notice from this angle, it almost looks like it's like almost like a vapor of some sort coming out of his mouth, but it's instead dust.
All right, you jackass, come here. Let me have a look at you. Am I able to deduce what this is, or?
I would say make a medicine check. Um, do you tell him about what you encountered, Uraquin?
Yeah, well,
I don't think a toe has anything to do with your mouse, unless you're into that.
uh, you don't know what I did over there. I was
Just
checking out a sarcophagus, and there was a undead in there, and he looked at me funny.
hell's bells.
He made me put his toe in my mouth, and yeah. So,
Kinky ass mummy.
And Dimmick, you kind of understand that this is a pretty serious curse.
Oh no.
And that it's not easily treated unless the only ways it can be removed are with a remove curse spell or another powerful magic spell to remove the curse. You've read about it in the past, and you've heard about this being a problem in some cities, specifically with like grave robbers. That the usual people who are afflicted with this don't last longer than a month.
Oh no.
Every 24 hours, they start to rot more from the inside out. In some cases, it's serious enough for limbs to fall off, where flesh will eventually just fall off on the bone,
Oh no.
resulting in need for amputation. Like, it's a very serious. Like Dimmick is like, as much as there's been an animosity between the two, this is very jarring right now, very serious, and not contagious, unless there's another mummy around.
Uraquin, this is bad. This is not good.
yeah.
Does anyone have any diamonds? Anyone?
Dimmick,
Y'all got any diamonds?
Dimmick,
This isn't Minecraft.
I love it. Yeah.
I don't know. I was just gonna kind of. What do you mean? What do you need diamonds for?
Well, more specifically, I need. Did everybody hear the conversation we just had? I mean, we're in a 10-foot radius.
I would assume.
All right. Well, I have something that I can treat your ailment with, Uraquin, but I can't do it until tomorrow. And I need a component for it. More specifically, I need diamond dust. So does anybody have?
How much of it do you need? Bongo says.
She has
Roughly around probably 100 gold pieces worth.
Oh,
So
is that like? I guess if you get a really good diamond with a high carat, perhaps you just might need one.
yeah,
Kind of strange that. Is that written in your book like that? That you need. Odd.
yeah. Well, I mean, it's not written per se. It's just a strong catalyst for very
Oh,
powerful
okay.
magic.
Does anyone here have diamonds? I don't.
I thought.
Well,
Dimmick have a component pouch.
yeah, but anything that's actual cost has to be. It can't come from the component pouch.
Yep.
Well, I had a.
Well, if no one has an idea, there's 100 people out there. Perhaps someone has a earring or a necklace or a ring
That's
we can buy from them.
not a bad idea. Good idea, Bongo. And I will. Or Dimmick will run out of the bubble, and he will start asking around, seeing if anybody could spare a diamond or two to
Okay.
crush up into dust.
I would say make an investigation check within the crowd.
Oh no.
Takes you about 15 minutes of your short rest here to finally find a couple women who their hands, it's almost like their skin has been sun dried, almost to the point of jerky, where they're so dehydrated and malnourished. And you kind of survey the field here, and you see that a couple of them have some rather nice rings that look diamond. And the one woman just kind of says, I'll give it to you for food and water. Doesn't really mean much to me anymore.
Food and water, absolutely not a problem. And I will also replace it with I'll pull out. I have a bag with 10 gold rings in it. I'll even replace it with a gold ring here. This is something I need to save a friend's life. So yes, absolutely, I'll give you food and water, and I will give you this gold ring in return.
That's wonderful.
Okay, so I'll mark off a gold ring. I'll mark off.
Like one ration.
Oh, I didn't have any rations in my inventory. Hold on, ration. 33 or 30 rations. Now down to 29 rations. 1 day's worth. Okay. Okay, so I will give her the ration. I will create water. I will give her a gold ring. And I will continue. Awesome. I will continue searching if I need more.
The ring you got seems to be a wedding band, and seems to be worth probably a little bit more than 100 gold.
Okay.
I mean, especially kind of being in your field, you have to have an eye for components, and specifically jewelry, and gems, specifically for spells of this nature. You just kind of have to almost have that proficiency to begin with. So.
Right.
You feel like you're pretty confident with what you have.
Right, and I'll probably lose some in the process of grinding it up. Okay, perfect. All right, I'll head back to the bubble. Does anybody have let me see. Bongo, come here.
Okay.
I need you to. I'm gonna take the. I'm gonna carefully take the diamonds out so I have like all of them that are in the wedding band, so I don't miss any.
Yep.
All right, Bongo. I'm going to set these on the ground, and I need you to hit them with your warhammer so they turn into a fine dust or a powder. Can you do that?
Unconventional, but I'll try it.
I mean, I don't have a mortar and pestle. I don't have anything else that I could think of.
Let me see here. As you're hearing this, make a wisdom check, Uraquin. Okay, thank you. Noted. Bongo is going to make an attack roll with his war pick on the blunt side.
Good man.
Let's see. 14, not bad. He takes a few swings at it over the next few minutes here, and right now there's this kind of fine glitter on the ground.
Perfect. And I'll take a small pouch and I'll start like waving the dust off the ground into the pouch. I'll just okay. Next one, and we'll just go through each of the diamonds.
You guys, spend like 10 minutes during this short rest, kind of working through the diamonds and kind of grinding them up into fine dust. And just as you finish Uraquin, you remember you kind of caught in this haze and this like you're very kind of out of sorts. But you remember, you have a mortar and pestle in your bag with your alchemist supplies.
Oops.
Maybe perhaps you just keep it to yourself. It's up to you. That's why that's how I wanted you to make a wisdom roll to see if you'd remember that you had that in your pouch.
All right. So now that I have the component that I need, the catalyst for it. Unfortunately, I cannot do anything until I rest completely. So we can either let you be for 24 hours, go and find Archduke Francis Ferdinand, or we can take a long rest, take a chance with the Archduke, and heal you up.
How much longer would a long rest be?
We would need like the equivalent of a full night's sleep.
8 hours.
How long have we been here?
About an hour.
Well, if we rest, then we can get. I can have Anel go see what's going on out there.
Like you want to send an L to go look for the Archduke?
Yes.
It's not a bad idea.
And if he's in grave danger, he'll come get us and let us know. Or could Bongo use his stone to try to contact him and see?
Now there's an idea. Bongo,
Yeah,
can you do what Yurikun said?
that's a good idea. Let me see how many charges he's got on this thing. Okay, cool. He still has 3 left. He's going to expend a charge, and he's just going to kind of whisper in this stone a message. A few moments pass, and he's kind of just standing there, almost like just a straight up suit of armor on a rack, just like motionless. And you guys are kind of like, is he asleep? Like, what's going on here? What's taking so long? He kind of turns to you guys and says, not good. He said, and I quote, "What other god is in my mind now?" It doesn't seem like he's doing too hot.
Oh no. Well,
Well, that means he probably found what he was looking for, right?
His inflection is different. He seemed very panicked, and it wasn't. Something didn't seem right about it.
Can you at least able to tell where he was?
He said he was at he found what he was looking for at the cemetery, but that's about it.
So our party is in the bubble then?
yeah.
From Franklin? Okay. Hearing that, Hadron's gonna step out of the bubble and he's gonna walk into the crypt. How far is the cemetery from here?
The woman who seems to be kind of like, lack of a better term, kind of the leader of this refugee group right here, kind of steps up and says, "Do you, I can kind of mark it on the map for you if you'd like." She kind of pulls out this, it kind of looks like a pamphlet, but it's like an older kind of hand-drawn map, and it looks like it's been kind of noted for areas of the different changes to El Terrell, and she kind of puts a mark on it where the cemetery is and also where the high hall is, which you guys are at now is, and she kind of turns it to you and shows you. So she kind of marks out, and you can kind of see where you guys came in, where the bridges were, where High Hall is, and where the cemetery is from here.
It's a good distance out there.
Yeah. eh, At least a few hours travel. Well, yeah, if you don't want to get jumped, that is.
Um, Seeing her like markings for everything on the map, I'm just gonna kind of like lower his head and he's gonna like scratch his chin and curse quietly before giving her a quick like nod and thank you, and he's gonna head back into the bubble. Yokoin, I like your idea of sending him out. If you trust me, I'll go with it now. Figure out what's going on, and I'll come back here while you all rest and take care of what's ever going on with him.
Well, it's not that I don't trust you. I just. Well, why don't you at least take Bongo with you?
I just found out how far it is. It's a couple hours minimum to get there. I'm not so worried about getting caught. At least if it's just me and Anel, we can move quicker. No offense, Bongo.
None taken.
I peek my head out to Anel. Anel, do you think you could carry him quickly?
Yes. Much lighter than you are.
Thank you for reminding me. Pop my
It's
head
the
back in.
armor. Don't worry about it.
I pop my head back in without answering him. Well, Pateron, I mean, I trust you. It's not that I don't. I don't like the idea of you putting your life on the line just because I'm down and out.
Listen, regardless, if I don't get rest, you're gonna be fucked for a little bit.
I understand. If we do stay here, we can take care of them and give them water and food and help them out.
We can, but the predicament is, if I'm here, I can take care of these people, but I can't take care of everyone else in trouble out there.
Yes, I know. Oh, I mean, we need to decide quickly. Do we push on or begin a rest? I'm okay with whatever we do.
I think Hateron's idea might be the smartest, isn't? I've seen Nanel in battle before that is able to evade even the most fast enemies.
As much
May
as
help him evade.
I don't like the idea of Hateron going by himself again, I think I agree with Bongo.
Right? I'll just turn over and just fall asleep.
Hateron, you're sure about this?
They don't have anything else we can do for the time being. Yokoin needs to be taken care of. The Grand Duke is as bad as Bongo's fears. Him being out there on his own any longer is more of a detriment than it is a help.
All right.
So you're gonna head out to the cemetery with Nanel?
Yeah.
Hateron?
Once everybody kind of like settles into what we're doing, I'm just gonna turn to look at it now, and kind of quizzically for a second go, I don't know, just in my head be like, I don't know if I've ever tried talking to Anel, but I'm just gonna look at him. Ready now?
Kind of lowers his head and kind of lowers his front paws to allow you to hop on.
Before he takes off, Franklin will come to the edge of the bubble and kind of like, I'll make it translucent so Anel can see through it, and I'll kind of like wave my hand towards him to see if he'll like pop his head in the bubble.
Okay, yeah, he kind of comes over.
I'll give him a pat on the head and say take care of him. Make sure you come back.
Kind of a little low purr.
All right, off you go, Hadaron.
To give them all a quick nod before stepping out of the bubble and heading out the now.
Okay. You and I'll kind of head out, and quickly you kind of have to adjust yourself to kind of get your balance right. Very different from riding a horse, but very swift. And as you make your way up through the lower catacombs here and up into the main area of the High Hall, it's still that quiet. The air is still, and you head out towards the Grand Cemetery. We'll take a 15-minute break here, and we'll come back at 8:05. Sound good?
Sound good. All right, everybody, we will return in about 15 minutes.
Hello, welcome back. Um, Currently, Heteron, you're on the way to the Grand Cemetery. I need you to make a stealth check with advantage if you're trying to avoid the various creatures that are roaming about. You can see there's similar type devils that you've seen before, moving about in packs. Let me see. It's not horrible. Okay.
13.
All right. You make your way through. Much quicker than what originally thought it was going to take. And now seems to assess the situation and tries to stay on the rooftops as much as possible. Easily kind of motioning to you and kind of looking at you and like looking up, kind of trying to make sure that you kind of keep a hold on, but he kind of wraps his tentacles around your waist to kind of keep you planted when he makes these longer leaps. And you find yourself probably, let me go my drawing thing, on top of one of these houses here, one of the blue roofed houses, within a matter of like 30 minutes. So you're kind of there, kind of looking over the this area. The 10-foot high brass fence that once surrounded El Terrell Cemetery has fallen in numerous places. A wide gate allowing access to the grounds has been torn from its hinges. Severed humanoid body parts adorn the spikes atop the fence posts. Some of the body parts wriggle and writhe as if they are undead, twitching in concert with the lightning flashes of the companion. You can see from this vantage point there's cracked gravestones and crumbling monuments that are scattered across the cemetery grounds, whose center is occupied by a chapel dedicated to Lathander, Torm, Helm, and Tyr. That once holy structure now glows with a fetid purple radiance. You can see it's not a great sight.
Having gotten up to this rooftop and whatnot, in the amount of time we have, I'm gonna head on something like let out a small whistle, not like a super audible one, but just like a small one. Just super impressed with Alan. He's gonna just kind of like reach down and pat him on the upper part of his leg. Just very good, now on the chest.
Kind of nods his head.
Looking back up and seeing the building that's got the glow around it, Heteron's gonna kind of like quizzically look at it. I'm not sure why it would be glowing before like scanning the outer areas just to see if there's an easy way to get in there at all.
Into the cemetery itself or just the chapel?
Cemetery itself, and then if he can find a way into the cemetery, like a path to the chapel from this vantage point.
Yeah, it's pretty open space here. You've got, there's multiple parts of the fence that used to stand tall that are kind of now laid out flat, and the main gate that you would assume would be normally closed at certain points in time, similar to how Waterdeep was. It's just completely like knocked off its hinges, like thrown into the street. From a distance, you can see there's figures probably across the whole cemetery. You count at least a dozen or so that are spread out very far, and they're kind of stumbling and walking extremely slow. And being one with the dark arts, you completely understand that those are just undead that are just kind of wandering around.
So outside of them, there's like nothing visibly I can see there.
Yeah, that's about it.
Kind of getting a grasp of the situation. I'm just like, well, now it seems like the path forwards to the giant purple building there.
Um, and Nell kind of taps you on the shoulder with his tentacle and points to a figure in the cemetery who is uh, there's this bright blue and an orange shirt with kind of these long braided deep black locks of hair. Someone's kind of sitting on uh, kind of like a mausoleum, kind of like a raised crypt where it's just like you've kind of seen them in like Elden Ring. They're like this basically sarcophaguses are made of stone. They're kind of raised, and he's just sitting there, kind of just arms crossed, just looking about.
Does it seem like the undead are avoiding him?
No, the undead seem almost like ants, um, uh, in terms of their there's not really method to their path. They're not avoiding anything. They're not going to anything. They're just kind of present at the moment.
Okay.
One kind of you kind of take a moment to observe, and you see one kind of walks on by um, this figure and doesn't pay him any mind. And he doesn't react.
At that point, I'm just gonna kind of lean down and ask Anel to drop us down to the main road.
Okay.
And as we hit the main road, I'm gonna kind of like slide off of them.
All right.
And slowly start making my way towards whoever this figure may be.
Okay. You kind of hop down right in the side of the main street and kind of Anel's kind of bring up the rear, and he's looking all around, just ears perked up, just being on that alert. You make your way through one of the knockdown portions of the fence, and you're approaching him from the direction that you hopped off, and he's kind of a faced away from you, and you're probably about 50 or so feet away from him, and he's still just sitting there, back kind of turned, facing kind of northward towards the chapel. And you can see there's like these red beads that are kind of harnessed to his clothes, and he's got kind of darker leather pants and very tall, like almost like adventuring style boots. As he's just kind of taking in the space, just kind of sitting there, not privy or not showing any interest in that your movement up.
As I get within that range, I'm just gonna kind of clear my throat. Excuse me.
You're probably, I don't know, like a good 20 feet from him at this point. And you see he kind of turns, and you see he's got this darker complexion, but his eyes are glowing red. You can see his hands are kind of crossed, his arms are crossed, and you can see his hands are more elongated than what seems natural. He's got this very intricate kind of chin strap beard that's braided as well. He's like, come to help destroy the demons, eh?
I don't know. That depends on who you are.
He kind of almost floats down off this little like raised coffin the stone coffin. He kind of walks towards you, and he's got this swagger about him. And as you kind of size him up, this is kind of the figure you're kind of presented with. And he just kind of clears his throat and he's like, the name's Gideon. I watch over this place. And seems we have a bit of a demon problem.
By this place, do you mean El Torel or just this cemetery?
Everywhere at this point. Specifically here, I feel there's a great unease within the chapel. I was just kind of thinking about how to approach the situation when I heard you hop off the building behind me. I figured, ooh, perhaps an ally.
Well, I believe what I'm here for does happen to be in that chapel. You haven't happened to see a man go in there, have you?
Oh, yes. Some guy, bald, fanciful armor, and a bunch of what I'd presume to be living zombies, if you know what I mean. Wandered in that chapel and heard a few screams, and I decided I'll wait a little while and see what comes out. So far, it's been quiet. But with you here, perhaps we can go take a look together.
I'm gonna look back at Anel. Does Anel seem to be like giving off any like weird vibes with this guy, or is he kind of just calm like he is around the rest of the party?
Let me see how he would react. Okay. More cautious. And Nels, you've seen him in battle in certain situations. He's really good at reacting. But as far as Anel's concerned, he's just kind of hanging tight right now. Just not really showing any kind of aggression, but he's just on alert.
Looking back towards Gideon, I'm gonna kind of just extend a hand out to him. You told me your name. I'm here to tell you mine. My name is Hadaron. Hopefully, whatever's in there, we can handle just the two of us and my friend here.
Kind of takes your hand and kind of squeezes it, and as like a very firm handshake. His blood is cold. Even within this very extremely heated area, it's just unease. But he seems genuine in his dislike of demons and seems to be interested in utilizing you and Anel to take a peek inside.
Having, just shaken his hand, I'm going to lower my hand before walking up next to him and just eyeing the chapel. Is there anything you can maybe tell me about this place? More than one entrance, anything?
It's a rather small area. There's a few doors. As you can see from here, and you kind of look over, the city's descent into Avernus, Hadaron, has taken its toll on this beautiful chapel. Nearly all the stained glass windows, the large spaces it encompasses, have been shattered and smashed. The main doors that you can see from this angle too, they're like kind of double doors, they hang wide open. There's not really any creatures that are around the building or in the building that you can see. You know, your entryway is kind of up to what you would like at this point. Gideon kind of just turns to you and says, well, Hadron, why don't we go take a look?
I'm gonna look over at him and give him a quick nod, and as we start walking, I'm gonna not so much as like a suspicious movement, but I'm gonna step off to the side a little bit to put some distance between us. And I'm just gonna throw my right arm out. As I throw it out, I'm gonna open my palm and just summon my scythe in my hand.
Okay. He's kind of leading the way. He kind of like, as he's walking, kind of turns his head to the side towards you, like, that's a neat trick. To whom you serve?
Hearing him say that, Hadron's gonna kind of like panic, twitch a little, and lowering his head, he's gonna reach up with his free hand. He's gonna pull his hood back and just slowly look back up to Gideon and let the eye kind of just blare out.
Okay. I like your style. Now, I kind of get this feeling we're not unlike each other. Birds of the same feather, if you will. You've been dead before, haven't you?
You could put it like this.
As have I. He just continues walking. You guys approach from kind of the southern area. I'm going to put you guys on the map. He is neutral. He is. Where are you? What is your name? Hadron, hello.
My name's Jeff.
My name's Dip. You're probably about, 10 feet or so from him. He's leading the way, and Nell's kind of doing the same thing, kind of straddling the space. Where's Dimmick? I'm going to slap you on this map, too, so you can see what's happening.
Dimmick has cosmically been sucked out of the bubble.
I know, right? Share that. So, you're kind of approaching from the side here. You can see there's a smaller building to the left of you. It looks almost like a small, like, livable shack of sorts. That's there. And in front is like the main chapel.
Mm-hmm.
Gideon kind of moves up. Let me do that so you can move your token. Gideon moves up to the road and then puts a hand out as if to like have you hang for a moment.
Okay.
And you see these 3 skeletal type creatures stand up from almost like from the ground, and they're massive. They're just hulking creatures, and they are minotaur skeletons. They're huge, and Gideon just kind of turns to you and he goes, "Don't worry, these are my friends. Don't worry, he's with me, fellas." And you can see one of the minotaur skeletons has like this massive, huge, like this great axe that is just kind of he's kind of bearing over his shoulder. And I'll show you a picture of this because it's fucking badass. He just kind of slings over his shoulder and then kind of like his head kind of slouches down, like kind of in disappointment. And then the other 2 just kind of walk away. The other one kind of slaps the other one side of the head, and they kind of walk around the side of the building, seemingly heeding Gideon's words.
Just a sly smile is going to cross Hadron's face. Well, wasn't expecting that.
Well, I don't know. I've had a month is a long time for experiments and the like. Anyways, shall we continue inside?
Lead the way.
So you have an option here. You can head into the main entryway around the right side of this building here, Heteron.
Hmm.
You can see there's how does that work? Is that just blocked off? I'm sorry, moving your paw around.
No, you're fine. Do what you gotta do.
Okay. I wasn't sure how it would look on yours. Is it just okay, it is. I want to see what it looks like for you. Okay. There's kind of like this almost like stone type porch of sorts to the right side of it where there's like these stone pillars carved, and then there's a roadway that goes around to the what's basically the back of the chapel.
Hmm.
So he's kind of like, which way would you like to go?
I'm just gonna look at him. Depends. Do you think we'd be better off staying with your skeleton friends there?
Perhaps. Perhaps the back door is not a bad idea.
Franklin twitches in the crib.
Where are we? Is this what that is? Okay, it is. Let me pull up this. Hey, was opening up the sound set quick. Yeah. This is the stuff for it. Just setting up, changing the mood of the music here. So you want to head to the left here around the back of the chapel?
You.
Okay. What does that say? Oh, it says closed. You can kind of move your pog over here as he kind of makes his way around.
Okay.
Kind of wanders around, and now kind of follows. Where the hell did Dimmick go on this map? Why is this thing so laggy? There we go.
Dimmick got blasted off to space again.
The path around this chapel has been sundered by a rather deep hole in the ground that's kind of in the middle of this path. And you can see it's filled with this putrid purple mist. It's almost like this haze that's filling this hole that's like blocking any sense of how deep it might be or what might lie within. Why don't you make a well, you want to kind of take a closer look, I guess is the proper question I should ask.
Sure. I'll try my hand at getting a bit of a closer look.
Okay. Make like a investigation check. Dirty 20, nice. You kind of take a closer look, and you've read about this before. You understand the nature of what this mist is, and it's a necromantic mist. It's energy that's just this undead kind of arcane type energy. And you notice that the mist within inside it kind of pulses a bit. And you kind of look up to the companion, that massive black moon in the sky that kind of hangs above El Terrell. It's in sync with the crackling energy that's coming off of the companion. And you're kind of like, yep, probably shouldn't walk through that. We should go around.
Having looked at it, I'm gonna look at Gideon. Um, this we are definitely not getting through here.
We can just go around. It's fine. Sometimes I throw things in there for fun to see what comes out hours later.
As much as I would love to know the results of your experimentation, I feel like we have some bigger fish.
You see one of the Minotaurs just kind of gives you two thumbs and points at himself like, hey, it's me. But these three freaking goons just kind of wander about and kind of continue with you. As you guys make your way to the, there's actually a rather large, like, oops, let me move you. Right here is a completely shattered stained glass window, and Gideon just kind of looks. He says, "You want me to go first, or are you chicken?"
Well, you know what? Screw it. You say that, Hadron's just gonna boop.
Okay, you hop through and
doing his best not to make any noise, like shattering glass or getting caught on it. He's gonna to the other
easy
side.
enough. Easy enough. This is like only like a foot tall, like as far as like where the wall is, and this is a massive stained glass window. As you kind of enter in here, you're in the chapel proper. The smashed remnants of fine furniture and the remains of stained glass windows are strewn across this area. While you don't make a lot of noise, you do hear like the slight crinkle of glass underneath your toes, underneath your feet. Sections of one huge stained glass window remain intact. You can kind of see in the top upper portion of the one you guys came through. It's in enough of a complete state where the subject can be made out. The window once portrayed Lathander standing amid fallen soldiers, holding his hands aloft as the spirits of the dead rise to stand at his side. This area was typically, this area of the chapel is typically used for, like, you know, funeral services for various esteemed political military leaders of El Terrell. Basically, like, we're all who's who goes for any kind of need for a chapel for relatives or folks who had passed.
Mm-hmm.
What would you like to do now? You're kind of at the back of this chapel. Gideon kind of looks at you and says, "I'll follow your lead from now on."
As we come in, do the three Minotaurs follow us in as well, or are they kind of like still?
They're loitering around outside now.
Okay, so then as we come in, do we hear anything that isn't us? Like any other sorts of sounds?
Make a perception check. Well, let me double check. Let me look around this room. Right?
Suddenly, ninjas.
I'm like wicked hopped up on Benadryl and stuff right now. I won my whole yard today. I'm like just wrecked, homies. Let me see here. That's not what I wanted, but okay, thanks, I guess. Oh, I wanted this. What is this? You hear slight chittering, like, but very, very ever so faint, coming from this circular type walled chamber in the center of the chapel.
So kind of like the thing off to the right of my pog.
Yep.
Hearing that, I'm gonna slowly and as quietly as possible move up just to see if I can get a view of whatever it is.
Make a stealth check.
I don't know.
Um, 3 curtained archways connect this chamber to the other areas of the chapel. Shattered wardrobes and dressing tables, as well as a number of smashed mirrors, suggest that this was once where priests prepared for their daily services. Spiral stairs leading down are guarded by 2 creatures with insectoid features. Each one is armed with a wicked trident. Gideon kind of looks, he's like, "What do you see? What's in there?"
There's the almost like giant insects guarding something, but they are armed. I can at least make out 2 of them. Beyond that, your guess is as good as mine.
Ah, interesting. Well, I wonder what our play is.
Peeking through there, do I see like any other like do I notice anything else of importance in there, like that seems like super relevant for the time being, or is it just kind of like this is something that might be able to be pushed off if we can?
I mean, as far as you can tell right now, there's just 2 dudes guarding a staircase. 2 insect-looking dudes.
I'm gonna turn towards Gideon, and clearly I am not from El Terrell. I was told the man that came in here was searching for a Holy Grail. Do you think it would be wherever those stairs may lead, or somewhere else within this chapel?
What's the name of the man you seek?
Adon's gonna kind of like squint at him, not so much like suspiciously, but more like, do I tell him the full truth, kind of thing, or try to lie my way through it? And Adon's just gonna relay the information as to why he's here to Gideon.
Well, if they were coming anywhere, they'd be going down to the ossuary level. I typically don't have issues with humans. I'm not really concerned with them. More concerned about the demons. Why don't you roll a persuasion check? As he's starting to kind of raising a bit of an eyebrow towards you. Nice. He kind of steps up next to you where like the curtain is, and kind of, let me actually click this button so you kind of open it up and you kind of look inside. Gideon kind of pulls back the curtain a little bit, looks and says, "Those are Mesoloths. Those are my guys." Shouldn't have to worry about them.
Hearing him say that, Adon's just gonna kind of like look at him, just almost like he looked at Oranax, just like that dumbfounded awe kind of look, like look in his eyes, like he is just baffled and impressed by the magic power this man has.
He kind of takes note of the change of expression in your face. He's like, "Let me go talk to them. See if they've heard anything from the humans that came in earlier." Any objections?
Yeoman, I have none. As long as I know the humans are safe, whatever demons lie within here, I will help you deal with.
Okay. Kind of walks over to Rip. Come on, damn it. There you go. Sorry, we disappeared. You can see Gideon kind of walks up to one of the chittering insects, who actually kind of just goes down to one knee, and Gideon grabs his kind of like a portion of his head and pulls it up towards him. And this is just so you guys have visual of what they look like, because it's fun to look at pictures. He kind of grabs below its chin, kind of pulls him back up to stand on both of its feet, and kind of whispers to him a bit, and then turns to you. He goes, "This guy here, his name is Gastian. He's going to go with you down below to look for the humans and make sure that demons didn't find their way in. I will keep an eye out here, up above. Make sure there's no demon attacks on the chapel."
I'm just gonna look from Gideon to him and just dumbfoundedly just like nod, not sure what to say.
Okay. Kind of slaps the other one on the other Mesoloth upside the head. He has a very kind of slapstick relationship with the creatures he keeps in his company. Gideon just kind of turns his. I prefer to stay up here. Seems like some demons have already found their way in here, and my friend Gastian here took care of them. And he kind of points over to the side, kind of behind, like you didn't notice before, and it's just like this body of like some fiendish looking demon type creature, just puncture wounds all in its chest area from the trident the Mesoloths hold. And you can see the Mesoloth Gastian has like blood dripping from his trident. It's very, very wide bug eyes. He's kind of standing there and kind of walks over next to you and kind of stands next to you, kind of like awkwardly, like you guys got paired up for like a class assignment or something.
I'm just gonna
What?
like walk from him to the fiend and back, and just like in Hadron's head, he's just like, how? But he's just gonna kind of like roll with it before like shaking his head and please lead the way.
Are you talking to the insect dude?
Yes.
Okay. Fair enough. We are headed to workshop. Here we go. Battle map. Workshop is there. Where are we? Let me grab your pogs. Put you there, Dimmick. Aderon. And Nell. And this guy.
How do you spell that Mesoloth's name?
His name's Gastian. Yep.
Because I am gonna forget his name. Like, yeah.
He's friendly. He's a friendly. It's true. Let me share the screen.
Not prepared for names tonight.
Okay, me neither, homie. You guys, you follow this insect-like creature down the steps, and you already get the sense that like this main workshop here appears to be where priests and acolytes prepare dead bodies for final interment. The place has been ransacked, with knives, saws, piping, and tubes littering the floor. Acid and embalming fluid pools everywhere amid a field of scattered and shattered flasks and jars. You can see in front of you there's a double door north that leads to another area. Yeah, that's kind of where you're at right now.
Oh, I'm assuming it's the one above Gastion.
Yeah,
And
north,
I'm assuming-
north. Yeah, north from you. Yep.
Okay, so I'm assuming we came in from the one below me.
Yes.
Okay.
There you go. There's a staircase going back up.
I'm gonna just kind of look at Gastion for a second, and look over to Anel before moving up to the door and trying to open it.
Oh, whoop! There you can move. It's unlocked. You kind of it open, and there's stairs that kind of lead further down.
As I open the door, do I hear anything coming from down the stairs?
I would say make a perception check. At this point, there's some shuffling that's very faint. Very, very faint, like it's far off. That's more or less all you can see right now. Or hear, my apologies.
I guess at that point, I'm going to just look back both Gastion and Anel and just kind of shrug before pushing on in.
Okay. You guys both kind of come to double staircase. One leads down to the west, one leads up to the right.
I'm going to just turn to look to Gastion. Do you know which way the humans went that came down here?
He just kind of shrugs his shoulders.
I don't know, he's gonna let out a small breath. He's gonna look both directions, just kind of like, Christ. And he should just move off towards the right.
Hold on a second. Oh, yeah, you understand what he's saying. He's speaking Infernal.
Oh.
He's like,
I don't know. I was guarding the staircase. He came through here. I let him through. I don't know.
but it sounds more like, but you translate it to,
I don't know where they went. I don't get paid enough for this.
Well, I still stand by the fact that I was just gonna go off to the right.
I'll wait up for me.
kind of continues and oh, there's you, Dimmick. And Nell kind of follows behind, kind of keeping an eye out or an ear out for any kind of movement. You guys continue around this way, and Gas goes,
Come on this way. Down here's to the Vault of Honor.
All right. Oh God, where's Nell? Come with me. Here, let me put you on here too, JD, so you can see what's going on. See what Anel's up to. You can move your paw around so you can see.
Okay.
Just so you're aware of what's happening. It's not just a black fucking window for you. Gaston kind of walks through and kind of just drags his trident on the ground. This is the this one. This rubble-strewn vault contains 5 marble statues atop diocese. 4 of the statues are unrecognizable as their features have been badly marred by rock fallen from the cracking ceiling. The 5th is a finely carved statue of a kneeling man. You guys come in this room, like you make your way into the room, and it looks more of like almost like a ritual type room, more of a vault of some sort. But
your first glance doesn't seem to kind of give away anything of importance.
Okay. As we come in, obviously rock has fallen from the roof. Does it look like any of it's been moved from the initial spots like we can see as we walk in?
I would say this: make a survival check. Or not survival, investigation. I'm sorry. Losing my head over here. A 14 is not horrible. You can see that some have been moved out of the way. Like, some are piled up to the side. Or, like, kind of like a walking path was made to the far back statue.
Seeing that, I'm just gonna kind of like look at it for a second before following whatever path it would take.
Okay. You kind of make your way to the back of this room. As you look at the man that's carved the statue, you tie it to the same character that was in the stained glass window. It's the same person. You can make a history or religion check, whichever one you prefer, to see if you can recognize who this person may be.
Holy Christ.
Hey, not bad. You kind of take a moment and you're like, who the fuck is this supposed to be? Let's see. Where was it? This one? You note that this man, as Lanish Fogel, he was a revered hero in Elturel's past. He was a dedicated paladin of Torm, and he just had as a very much tied to Torm, but he was a very prominent figure in terms of the mythology of Torm and kind of the history behind it. You can see that the statue itself, that its head has been sculpted as if it was meant to wear a separate helm, but there's no helm present right now. Like, it's missing a helm.
I'm gonna just do like a quick check of like this room in general, just to see if I can find anything that could possibly be the helm that's supposed to be on there.
What are you trying to look for? I'm sorry?
If there's something that could be whatever the helm, I would quote unquote perceive it to go on his head in this room.
Yeah, make an investigation check in this room for something that may be missing from his person.
Yeah.
I'm glad you rolled a natural 20. I'm also kind of sad because you take a moment, you walk about this room. Nothing in this room belongs as the helm in that place. And you kind of connected out that, oh, maybe this is where the helm that the woman was referring to is supposed to reside. Maybe this is kind of like the room where that's been placed. And you kind of think, okay, so you got information from Bongo, the sending spell, that the Duke had come to find, well, from the actual villagers or townsfolk said that he was coming here to look for a helm of Torm's site. And there's a guy here who needs a helm. And You get the sinking feeling that somewhere in this crypt type area is Ravengard, and perhaps he has the helm. I really, really, really hate to do this, but I simply cannot focus right now because my allergies are so bad. Like my eyes are like burning, and I can't read. I can't focus, and I'd rather like end it here before I slaughter any more of important information that you guys need, and I don't feel comfortable DMing when I'm not 100% to be able to give you what you guys deserve. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
No, it's fine.
I feel fucking horrible right now.
Yeah,
like I'm like
100%.
dying over here.
Yeah.
You
we
can
should-
tell I'm like my mind is scattered right now. I can't keep up with anything.
100%. Totally understandable. I don't think anybody's upset about that. Sure.
But yeah, we'll continue this next week. Hopefully I don't have to mow my grass next week and I can deal with my allergies.
Hell yeah.
It's
Well,
just horrible.
We appreciate you motoring through what you could. For sure.
I did my best.
100%. Always do your best. Well, with that, we're gonna head out and let Tim get some rest. So continue next week with us. We excuse me. Catch us on our socials for any updates on upcoming stuff. DM is at Zero Tuna on Twitter. I'm at Pattywagon on Twitter. Keep an eye out for any posts we have through the week. Love each other, do your best, and as always, say goodbye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye. Goodbye.